Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video I'm going to be doing a full week of workouts because it's been highly requested. I just think it's easy to put in a YouTube video, obviously, because it's going to be so long. There's going to be 5 or 6 workouts in this video, so if you don't like watching my workouts, then I suggest you start watching now. I've just done the first session, which is Monday today. I did glutes and hamstrings and it was a really good session. It's like, you know, when you're just not in a rush to do anything, so you can just take as much time as you need to do your sets. You just don't need to be rushed. So yeah, it was a really good session. So I will check back in with you tomorrow when I'm doing, I think I'm going to do back and biceps tomorrow. I think. Not 100% yet, but you'll see. So to start off with, I'm going to be doing my warm-up and mobility work, which is obviously so important before any leg day or just any routine that you're doing. So I'm doing lots of hip openers and stuff, which is really good before squatting, just to prevent injury and also just to make sure that you get that top form as well without, you know, hurting yourself. So I'm going to go straight into barbell pause squats. I'm going to do 4 sets of 8 reps, and to get optimal glute connection, you want to just have your feet slightly externally rotated and also just have your knees sort of pointing a little bit out rather than straight in front of you. This just targets the glutes even more. And then I'm going to go into elevated heel barbell RDL. So you can't see my feet at the moment, but they are currently just on a plate. So I'm going to do 4 sets of 10 reps here, and you want to hinge at the hips with this movement. This is really important. You want to hinge at the hips with all glute movements, but especially with this one. So by that I mean just fold your body forward and your upper body just have it sort of forward in front of you rather than straight up, and this just really targets the glutes even more, and you don't want to be hyperextending the glutes in this movement. And then I'm going to go straight into barbell pulsed hip thrusts. So the pulse just keeps constant tension within the glutes and just adds the extra burn. It doesn't really allow for the glutes to have much rest, and it also doesn't allow for the hamstrings to kind of overtake in this movement. It is mainly glutes. So now we're going to be going straight into B stance hip thrust. So I'm going to do 3 sets of 10 reps on each leg, and having one foot further forward when you are targeting each individual glute just adds a lot of pressure on your glutes individually rather than all together, and also helps sort out any imbalances. So now we're going to be going into dumbbell deficit reverse lunges. I'm going to do 3 sets of 12 reps on each leg. So you want to be hinging at the hips in this movement as well. It's so important in targeting the glutes, and you want to just have your head a little bit further down rather than straight up in the air. And to target the glutes just extra in this movement, you want to have a little bit of a wider stance when you come in with that back leg. And a really important tip for this is you want to put all the pressure that's on the front foot in your heel, in the back of your heel, rather than in the front of your toes. And then we're going to go into single leg side laying leg press. We're going to do 3 sets of 8 reps on each leg, and this is obviously a really heavily glute targeted exercise as you're pushing the weight up with your glute. And then last but not least, I'm going to go into cable kickbacks. I'm going to do 3 sets of 15 reps on each leg, and isolation movements are still so important within your leg routine, just to target the tinier muscles that are in your legs each individually and giving them some extra focus rather than focusing on lots of muscles at once. So you want to keep these quite slow and controlled rather than just flinging your legs back, and also hinging at the hip as always. Leaning your body further forward helps just target the glutes even more. Hey guys, so today is day 2 of full week of workouts. However, I have been an absolute idiot and did not film my workout in landscape. I filmed it in portrait. I'm so sorry. My deepest apologies. I hope you forgive me. The next few workout clips are going to be portrait. I know, I literally want to cry. So we're going to be starting off with close grip lat pull down. So we're going to be doing 4 sets of 12 reps here, and the main tip for this exercise is to just keep it slow and controlled. So you don't want any drastic swinging within your body, and you want to keep your head sort of straight forward in line with the weights that are coming up rather than having your head moving around with your body too much, because you'll just cause lots of unnecessary pain in your neck and your back doing that. And then we're going to go into regular lat pull down, so with a wider grip. This just targets the lats even more than the first one, and we're going to be doing 4 sets of 12 reps here. So next we're going to be going into close grip cable rows, so we're going to be doing 4 sets of 10 reps here, and in my opinion this is the best exercise I've ever done that I feel the most within my back. You want to keep it slow and controlled, again, no rushing, and you just get a really good contraction if you lean quite far forward within this movement. So next we're going to be going into rear delt flies. I'm going to do 3 sets of 15 reps here, and it's really important to train your rear delts. You can do it on either your back day or your shoulder day, but it's really important to train them, as most people do undertrain them, so make sure you are doing them. So last but not least, we're going into barbell preacher curls. So I was a bit pushed for time with this workout. I would usually do another bicep exercise, but this is all I did today. So I did 4 sets of 8 reps, and you want to keep it quite slow on the negative, just slow and controlled, just to get a really good pump in the biceps. Hey guys, so today is Wednesday. Today is going to be my leg day. This is a quads and calves day, without the calves. I actually really was pushed for time with this workout, so I skipped calves. I know, don't promote it, don't condone it, I'm really sorry. I usually do calves, but the quads are more important. It was a really good workout actually. You know those quick ones where you just quickly just do whatever you can and it just turns out to be like a really good burner. So yeah, enjoy. So you're going to notice a little bit of a pattern with all my leg workouts. So I basically keep the same warm-ups for all my leg days, with a mixture of dynamic warm-ups and static stretches, also mobility work within them, like leg swings and hip openers. And I also like to do some warm-up sets, just body weight and also with just the barbell, just to get me in the movement and also just to prevent any injuries. So I'm going to go straight into some working sets. So this is going to be my warm-up set. I'm going to start off with 60 kilograms altogether on the bar. And I didn't really count my reps on here, to be honest. I just did a few just to get me into the motion. And I think I did about 8 reps here, to be honest. It doesn't really matter, just as long as you do a few, just so that your body gets used to adding the heavier weight. So then I went into another heavier set. This was not my top working set, but was still fairly heavy, and I could probably do about 12 max. So this is what I did before I went straight into my top working set. I think this was about 80 kilograms before I went into my top working set, which was at 90. So now going into my top working set, I did 4 sets of 8 reps here, and to target the quads even more in this, I did not have my feet externally rotated, and I had my legs a little bit at a closer stance rather than a wider stance, as I didn't really want to target much of the glutes at all in this movement today. You need to always make sure that you're never compromising form over weight. So if you're feeling like you are struggling with a certain weight and you feel like you've not got your optimal form, then lower the weight just to prevent any injuries. And then after that, going to go into probably my favourite superset for the quads. It is going to be heel elevated front squats. into bodyweight heel elevated front squats. So for the barbell front squats, we're going to be doing 10 reps, and then the bodyweight is going to be AMRAP. So that is as many reps as possible. So front squats are so good at targeting the quads rather than anything else in your legs really, as the load is all on the front half of your body, which is obviously your quads, and then adding the superset just adds that extra spice into it. I was absolutely dying here. My legs were in bits. This just literally just destroys your quads altogether. I promise you, try it. And then next exercise is going to be leg extensions. However, I'm going to have a medicine ball on my lower back. I actually learnt this tip from Chrissy Chella on Instagram. So doing leg extensions with a medicine ball just puts your body further forward, and obviously you can do this if you adjust the seat. However, mine does not have a seat adjuster, but I also feel like the medicine ball puts your body further forward than a seat adjuster ever would. So having your body further forward rather than further back adds more pressure onto your quads and just makes you put more force into bringing that weight up with your quads rather than it would if you were having your back further into the seat. So you're going to add a hold onto the top of each of these reps. So this just absolutely destroys you, like you will be in bits if you have a hold onto these. I think I did 15 reps here, but I think I did my top set was 20 reps. So you can just imagine the pain. On a hold on each rep, it was pain. And then I actually apologise in advance for this, but we're going to finish off with 100 bodyweight walking lunges as just a pumper at the end. I could barely even finish the last like 40 reps. I was in so much pain. I just had to like give it a quick shake off. But yeah, just try these if you just want to absolutely just obliterate yourself, really. To target the quads more also, you want to have a closer stance within your legs and don't make the lunge such like a large lunge. You want to just keep them close to your body. Hey guys, so today is Thursday. Today is my push workout. I did legs yesterday, but you will have already seen that. I just haven't had a chance to like come on and catch you up. But yeah, today's Thursday, push day. Here's my outfit. Underactive leggings, Gymshark top and Gymshark sports bra. And my hair needs a wash, so that is why it looks like that. But yeah, let's get straight into the workout. So for this workout, we're going to be starting off with warm-up and activation as always. So we're going to be doing some rotator cuff movements and just warming up the front delts and the rear delts. Your shoulders are actually the most prone to injury, so warming them up is so important. And then first working set is going to be really light just to get the shoulders into the movement and just to also activate them a little bit more just before I do my top sets. So this wasn't my max or top set for me, but it was still pretty heavy. So I did one set of 10 reps here. I did actually class this as a working set as it is still quite heavy for me. So I did 10 reps here, and you want to keep your back into the chair as much as possible. The more reps you do, the harder this is, and you will find yourself arching your back, but you just want to keep it planted into the chair as much as you can. And then this was my top working set, so I was lifting 17.5 kilogram dumbbells here. This was quite heavy for me, and I think I was doing 8 reps here. I was doing 6 to 8 reps of 3 sets. So next went into dumbbell chest press. I did 4 sets of 8 reps here. This was kind of like a medium-ish weight for me. I could have probably done 10 reps, but I wanted to try and do 4 sets rather than 3 sets. And then going into single arm cable lat raises, so I did 3 sets of 12 reps on each arm, and this is such a good isolation movement for the side delts, so this just adds such a good burn to the shoulders and gets you a really good pump as well. And then for the last exercise, I did straight bar cable tricep push down. So I did 3 sets of 20 reps here. You want to focus on keeping your elbows as close into your body as you can and just pushing the weight down slow and controlled with your triceps. Okay guys, bit of a different setting. I'm in my boyfriend's house, which is why it's messy. But today is the final workout of the week. It is a full leg day, both like hamstrings, glutes and quads, and I do really need to fit some calves in, to be honest, but do we really think I'll be doing that? No. But yeah, this is the last workout of the week. I will check back in with you after the workout just to summarise the video. But yeah, let's go smash a leg day. So as you can tell, all my warm-ups for leg days are pretty much the same. I don't really need to go into detail on explaining them each time, but I just want you to get the gist of how important warming up is, especially for leg days when you are going to be lifting heavy. So firstly, going straight into a working set. However, this is a light working set for me, so I just did about 8 reps here just to get myself into the motion. So this was my top working set for me today, going into 8 reps and doing 4 sets of this, keeping the movement slow and controlled. And this was kind of like a full leg day for me, so I wasn't really targeting either the quads or the glutes. I just had my feet at a slight external rotation, but wasn't trying to get any sort of contraction in my glutes really. And then going into elevated barbell RDLs here, so I was doing 4 sets of 8 reps here, and like on my last leg day on Monday, you really have to hip hinge in this movement to get an optimal glute contraction. So folding your body forward and not hyperextending the glutes at all. You also want to have a slight bend in the knee to get more of a contraction in your glutes rather than your hamstrings. And then next exercise was barbell hip thrusts. So this was like a warm-up set for me. I did actually hit a PB today, so this was me just working up to my top set. And then this was me actually hitting my PB today. This was 200 kg. I just kind of tried to do as many reps as possible, to be honest, although the last 2, I don't know if I would really count as reps, but I would say that's solid 4 pulse dead stop reps, which I'm really proud of, and we'll just try and work on working that up to be able to do that weight, you know, with more reps. And then this was me just deloading. I find this really important when I'm doing like a max hip thrust, because when I'm doing that heavy, I really don't get a contraction in my glutes at all, I'm just going to be honest. So doing these deload sets really just helps me get a contraction and helps me, you know, get the really good feel, the really good burn from the hip thrusts. So next I went into heavy dumbbell Bulgarian split squats, so I did 3 sets of 6 reps here. Then next exercise was a superset, so I did goblet squats. I think I did 3 sets of 15 reps here, and then after that I went straight into bodyweight squats. So I did AMRAP for this, which was as many reps as possible. This was just a really good burner. And last but not least, I did 3 sets of 15 reps here on the hamstring curl, and just wanted to keep these quite slow and controlled just to get a really good burn in the hamstrings. So that was it for today's video. I basically summarised my full week of workouts, also like along with my training split. So that basically is my training split at the moment. It doesn't always like fall on those days that it did this week, but I do train like around 5 days a week, 6 days if I can. But yeah, I am actually trialling like doing 3 leg days a week at the moment, as I'm really just trying to focus on leg growth rather than anything else. I'm just seeing how it goes, to be honest. I don't really know if I'd recommend it yet because I'm not having like a huge rest between each leg day, so I don't know if it is like that optimal, but I'm just going to see how it goes and just see if I see much more growth by doing that, but I will let you know. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video.
Peace out.